Hey guys, we're so excited to see you this week. We are on location.
Hey guys.
In the Vanuatu
Islands.
No, the Vanuatu.
Vanuatu Islands.
Vanuatu Islands. They are near Australia. So we had to, after kids' church, we got everything all together and hurry, go.
Yeah, I had to get in costume. We're filming on location. It's going to be crazy.
In costume? Yeah, you are. I mean, like, I'm dressed for the beach, but you, what's going on?
I'm in character, Jen. When you've been in the biz as long as I have, you know that you don't get out of character, because if you get out of character, then you lose all of your focus.
The biz. What biz? I mean, like, we do story time, and that's like a business.
Showbiz.
I get it.
We're making the sequel.
The sequel?
Okay, you're going to pretend like you don't know. You told me we were making the sequel to one of my favorite movies.
I said we were making a sequel to one of your favorite movies? I did? What movie is that?
Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh, I love that movie. Yeah. If I were a rich man. Yeah, I love that movie. But
who sings that?
That guy.
Let's let him do it.
Let him do it? Okay. So anyway, you think we're making...
You said we were going to do the sequel of The Map Maker. So I'm going to be... I figured I would be
I get it. Fiddler on the Roof. Okay. All right.
If I were... I'm going to be the guitarist in the greenhouse.
Guitarist in the Greenhouse.
Yeah.
The sequel to Fiddler on the Roof.
Right,
got it. Go.
Right, because... You want to hear me?
I do.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
I got to get my rhythm. Map maker, make me a map. I have no clue where I am at. I have no clue.
Okay, I think we're totally confused here, because we are talking about a map maker, but we're not making a sequel to the Fiddler on the Roof. But I appreciate your creativity.
My solo. I have a couple other ones. Do you want to hear them?
Not right now. We gotta get to story time with the kids, because we're not filming a movie. We're doing story time in the Vanuatu Islands near Australia.
So Vanna White's not co-starring in this movie?
There's no Vanna White. No Vanna White.
And we're not doing guitarists
in the greenhouse. No.
You need to be clear.
I'm sorry.
I packed a completely different wardrobe than I would have if I'd have known we were just going to hang out at the Vanuatu Islands.
Yeah, like, babe, we love the ocean. Why wouldn't we?
That's true. Look how beautiful it is.
Yeah,
it's amazing behind us.
Yeah, the islands are beautiful, and like all the way to Australia, we had to fly and then come to the Vanuatu Islands, and it's been crazy. You know what else is crazy?
What?
This whole week we have story time. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
we are
Friday.
Doing story time every day.
On
location.
On location.
When we're not filming for the movie.
We're not filming for the movie at all.
That's what you think.
Okay. You can do that while I hang out at the beach.
Well, that's not very fair.
I know, but we came to hang out at the beach after we do story time.
Oh, okay.
We also have the prize basket, and if you notice, it is completely empty because we are restarting for this week only. One week only, live at noon every day. We have story time, and so at the end of story time, we will have questions and a challenge, and you can get your name in the prize basket, and we'll draw for a winner on Friday. And I know there's one cool thing for sure in the prize basket.
It is. It's my greatest hits CD. I'm going to do a lot of Johnny Cash covers. I fell into a burning ring of fire. Fire, fire, fire.
Maybe we should just set this on fire.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to pick prizes on Friday, and there is an Amazon gift card for $10 in the prizes. So that can help you get all your back to school fun stuff. Not all of it. Not even close. But at least something fun.
But you could buy a pencil.
Yeah. So we are in the Vanuatu Islands. They used to be called the Hebride Islands.
Hebride Islands, right.
But the name changed. And so
They're near Australia.
They're near Australia.
And you know, I haven't seen any wallabies down under. Throw a few shrimp on the barbie.
That's supper tonight.
Is this better? Oh. Good day, mates.
No.
That's not a knife. This is a pen.
You are allergic to shrimp. There will be no shrimp on the Barbie.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, where I think Andrew got confused is our missionary that we're talking about all this week,
John Patton,
for a while, is a map maker. Do you know the big word for map maker? Like, there's a big word that says it's what a map maker is. It's like the technical name.
Oh, yeah. It's a mapochronologist.
It is not a mapochronologist.
Is it a mapperologist?
Nope, not that either.
It's a atlasitarian.
No, that's a good one, though. It's called a cartographer.
That's somebody who takes pictures of cars.
No, a cartographer is someone who makes maps. Let's get into this story and learn about John Patton.
Yeah, John Patton, who's it's an awesome story.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Okay. Are we ready?
Do you need to take off your hat so you can get out of your...
No. No, I like it.
Because I don't
want people to know that
in the greenhouse. A little late.
Okay. All right. John Patton.
John Patton
was a young man who lived in Scotland.
Oh, not Vanuatu? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
John Patton was a young man who lived in Scotland. He and his 11 brothers and sisters...
Wait a second. 11 kids?
Listen.
What?
I love to tell stories. Can you let me?
Okay, sorry.
Okay, thanks. Okay. 11. Yeah. 11 brothers and sisters and his mom and dad, and they all lived in Scotland.
Okay.
John's father was a sock maker. That's what he did.
Oh.
He had a small shop that he would make socks, and all of the kids helped work in the factory. But John's favorite time of the day was every evening after supper. John and his parents and their family would get together, and they would do family devotions.
Oh, I like that.
John's father would read from the Bible, and then they would talk about what they had heard and all the cool stuff. And they would talk about the fact that Jesus loved them. John loved that time. He always loved, especially when Papa would pray, because he would listen and he would say, Lord, I know you're going to answer Papa's prayers because I hear Papa pray a lot.
Oh, yeah?
3 times a day, John's dad would go to their tiny room where he and John's mama slept, and he would get down beside the bed and he would pray, and John would listen at the door, and he would hear his Papa praying that his children would know Jesus.
Okay, that's great.
John thought, well, I know Jesus because Mama and Papa know Jesus, and they talk about him. And then one day, John realized that he had to ask Jesus to forgive his sins himself.
Yeah, he had to.
So John, outside by the house, knelt down, and he prayed and asked Jesus to forgive his sins.
Yes!
John was so excited when he was done. He said, Amen. And then he stopped.
Wait, why?
And he said, Lord, one more thing.
What?
I will do whatever it is that you want me to do. You will be my boss for the rest of my days.
Whoa.
John was so excited. He ran inside and told Papa. Papa put his hand on his shoulder and said, I'm so proud of you, John. The Lord has answered my prayers.
Oh, wow.
John just knew that God was a God who answered prayer. Well, John got a little bit older, and it was time for him to go to school. He was 8 years old, and he could go to school, to the town school now. And he took one of his father's old suits, and he put it on. And his mama had shortened the sleeves and shortened the pant legs. And John began to wear it. Every day, John wore that suit to school.
Okay. That's kind of fancy in a suit.
One day, at supper, John's mama looked at John, and she said, John, I don't think you can wear that suit another day. It's getting too small, and it's starting to be you can see through the threads because it's so old. And John, I just don't know what we're going to do for you for school clothes. We don't have the money to buy new ones. I don't know what we're going to do. John looked at his Papa, and he said, I know what to do.
What?
Papa, we should pray tonight that God would help provide for the things that we need, and especially that God would provide a suit.
That's a great idea.
That night at family devotions, John and his brothers and sisters were praying, and while they were praying, John heard a knock at the door.
Oh.
No one got up and answered, and the door opened, and John heard a thud, and then the door closed.
Well,
John wondered, had somebody tried to break into the house? What was going on? Why? But they finished their prayers. At the end, Papa said, Lord, would you provide as only you can? Amen.
Okay.
As soon as Papa said amen, John jumped up, ran out into the living room, and looked. And there on the floor was a package.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
John brought it in and he said, Papa, I don't know where this came from. What's in the package? I don't know. Papa said, I don't know, John. Let's open it.
What's
They opened it up.
Yeah.
And on the inside was a brand new suit.
Oh.
That was exactly John's size.
What?
And some stuff for his brothers and sisters too. And God had provided.
Yes.
Early the next morning, John got up and he got dressed. He was so excited to get to school.
Yeah.
And as he got to school, he walked in and the schoolmaster said, what a handsome looking new suit you have, John.
Wow.
John said, thank you. The Lord provided it for us because I didn't know where it was going to come from, but we were praying and it showed up.
Wow.
The schoolmaster smiled and said, John, your father's faith is very strong and so is yours. You ask God and he will provide.
Wow.
Well,
that's so cool.
Many years later, John found out that it was actually the schoolmaster who had provided the suit. God had said to the schoolmaster while the schoolmaster was praying, he felt like God told him to go buy a suit and some stuff for the kids and drop it off.
Wow.
God had used somebody in John's life to provide for him.
That's so cool.
John loved school. He loved to learn and to read. But at the age of 12, John stopped going to school.
Oh, was he sick or something?
No, that's the way they did it back then in Scotland.
Okay.
John decided he was going to go and get a job.
A job?
Being a map maker.
Oh, yeah. Cartographer.
Right. A car photographer.
No.
And so, no?
Cartographer.
Oh, cartographer.
Photographer.
Photographer. So John went to work. John loved to work, but every day he had to walk 4 miles from his house to the place where he would help make maps.
That's really far.
On the way, he would read books, and he would study, and he would learn about all kinds of different places.
Yeah.
He learned about this place called Australia, where they had all these strange animals. They had kangaroos and koala bears, and they had weird snakes and lizards and bugs. And John loved to learn.
That's gross.
John worked very, very hard. In fact, one day while John was at work, his boss called him into the office.
Oh, is he in trouble?
His boss said, John,
yeah,
we have noticed that you have worked very, very hard.
Oh, that's good.
And you have done an excellent job. In fact, John, we want to promote you to one of the lead cartographers in the whole plant.
What?
And if you will do that, John, if you will guarantee for the next 7 years that you'll work here, not only will we train you and you will make a lot more money, but you'll also get some very special training and get to travel with the government because you will be able to scout out some new places.
What a cool job.
John thought, wow, the things I could learn.
Yeah.
How awesome would that be?
Oh, wow.
And then he stopped and stood very quietly.
Yeah.
The boss said, well, John, I need an answer. What do you want to do?
Yeah, what do you say?
John looked at him and said, sir, I love the opportunity to do that, and I appreciate it so much. But, sir, I can't commit to 7 years.
Wait, what?
I can't guarantee that I'm going to be here for 7 years because, see, sir, I belong to another boss.
Wait, what?
John's boss looked at him strangely and said, another boss? Are you working somewhere else? Are they paying you more money?
I don't...
John said, no, sir. But when I was just about 6 years old, I asked Jesus to forgive my sins. And when I did that, I told him I would go wherever he wanted me to go and do whatever he wanted me to do.
Oh.
John's boss said, you're telling me that because of your faith, you won't take a pay increase? You won't work here for 7 years? You're telling me that? His boss began to get very angry. He said, if you don't take this job, you'll never be a map maker again. In fact, John, you're fired.
Oh, no.
John didn't know what he was going to do.
Oh, no.
On the way home that afternoon, John thought, how am I going to pay my bills and help provide for my family?
That's terrible.
On the way home, he passed a farm that had a sign that said help wanted. John went in and began to talk to the farmer and said, I'll work here. I don't have much experience, but I'm a very hard worker.
Oh.
And so for the next several months, John worked on the farm.
Oh, okay.
The farmer had seen that John was a wonderful worker. He didn't know much about farming, but he was willing to learn.
Okay.
And he would read everything he could find about farming.
Oh, that's good.
But one day John said, farming is just not the job for me.
Oh.
I just don't think I'm going to be very good at it. And I don't feel like it's what God's called me to do.
Oh, that's important.
I'm going to leave. I'm going to go to Glasgow, which was 40 miles away, and I'm going to look for work there.
40 miles, that's a long trip back then.
John went home that night. He began to look, and he saw that there wasn't a train that was available.
Oh.
And stagecoaches cost way too much money.
Oh, yeah.
And so John told his mama and his papa and his brothers and sisters he was leaving for Glasgow in the morning.
He was going to fly, right?
He was going to walk.
Wait.
40 miles.
He was going to walk?
40 miles.
That's so far. That's so far.
Early the next morning, John got up, and as he was walking out the door, his papa said, John, I'm going to walk with you for a while.
Okay.
For 6 miles, John and his papa walked together, and they talked about the Lord, and they talked about how serving God sometimes was really, really hard, but it was always the right thing.
Yeah.
At the end of 6 miles, Papa said, John, this is as far as I go.
Oh, no.
He reached over and put his hand on his shoulder, and he said, John, I want you to know that I'm so proud of you for following Jesus. And I want to bless you, and I want the God of your father, your God, to go with you and to bless you and to keep you.
Okay.
John began to wave as he watched in the distance as his papa began to go.
Oh, now he's got to walk alone?
For the next several days, John walked until he got to Glasgow. He didn't know anybody in the city.
No.
He didn't know anyone there, and he didn't have a job.
Oh, man.
As he was walking down the road, he thought he would go to church and maybe spend some time praying and asking God to take him to the right place.
That's smart.
As he walked into the church, he saw on the back wall of the church there was a sign that said, school teacher needed for a classroom of boys.
Oh, okay.
John thought, well, I've read a lot of books. Maybe. So he went in and he began to talk to the pastor. The pastor said,
Wait. The school was at the church?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have a school here. That's cool.
I know, right? So the pastor said, John, listen, I know that you seem to be very well educated, but this group of boys, they're very, very hard to get along with.
Oh.
They are very disruptive. We haven't been able to keep a teacher in that classroom for a very long time.
Oh.
And John, I just don't know. John said, sir, I believe that it wasn't by chance that God led me here. And so if you'll just give me the opportunity, I believe that God will help not only me to teach those boys well, but would help those boys to understand the truth.
That's really bold.
The teacher looked at him, or the pastor looked at him and said, well, John, if you're going to take this classroom, you're likely going to need this.
A walking stick? Is there something? He's probably tired. He's probably tired from walking all that way. What?
A cane. A cane was a way that teachers used to use to get kids to behave.
Oh.
They would give them whippings with a cane.
Whippings with the cane?
Yeah.
Whoa.
John looked at it and said, sir, I don't want to use this. I couldn't possibly. Just let me try the class and we'll see what happens. John went in the classroom the next morning. And in the beginning, everything was going well.
Oh, good.
Kids were listening. The boys were paying attention.
That's great.
They didn't have any problems. And then all of a sudden, one of the boys began to yell.
What?
Every time John would ask him to be quiet, the boy would yell in John's face. He began to call him very mean names.
Oh, that's
terrible. And when John turned around, the boy began to throw his books at him.
That's awful.
John asked him time after time after time to stop.
Yeah, that would hurt.
But the boy didn't.
Oh, man.
John reached back behind the desk and got the cane.
Ooh.
He called the boy to the front and sent everyone else out.
Yeah.
And the boy got a whipping.
Oh, man.
Now, you would think that would stop the other kids from being bad.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be bad anymore if I saw somebody get a whipping.
But the next morning, when John went into class, 2 more boys were behaving the same way.
Didn't they learn anything?
They were yelling and throwing stuff and being mean to each other. Pretty soon a fist fight broke out.
What?
And John said, that's enough.
Oh.
He called the 2 boys to the front and
he
had them stand in front of the rest of the class.
Yeah.
And he said, class, What should I do with these two boys? What do they deserve for their actions?
Well,
one boy said, they deserve a good whooping. Get your cane and whoop them.
Oh.
Another one said, they certainly have earned it. I think they should be expelled and kicked out of school.
Oh. That's really
John
bad.
looked at the two boys and he said, boys, I want to talk to you today about grace.
Grace.
Grace is when you and I confess that we have done wrong. God forgives us.
Okay.
So are you two willing to confess that what you've done is wrong? The two boys looked at him and began to behave badly. John said, listen, boys, I don't want to give you a whipping. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
What I want is for you to behave so that you can learn. So that someday you will have the ability to teach others.
Yeah.
The boys began to look at each other. They'd never had a teacher that acted like this. Their other teachers were always just mean or yelled or threw stuff at them. And most of them even quit.
Oh, yeah.
The boys turned around and looked at the class. And they put their heads down and said, I'm sorry, Teacher Patton. I'm sorry we behaved that way. Please forgive us. John put his arm around both boys and he said, I forgive you. Go take your seats.
Whoa.
And let's learn together.
That's great.
From that day forward, the class was completely different.
What?
In fact, John didn't have any more problems with discipline
fantastic.
in his class. The boys began to learn, and not only did they learn, they began to be the smartest group of students around.
What?
In fact, they became so very well read and very intelligent that those in charge of the school came in and said, John, you don't have the education to teach them anymore because you didn't go on in school either. So, John, I'm sorry. We're going to have to let you go, and we're bringing in someone else to teach the boys.
But he was so good.
John looked at the teacher, and he looked at the boys, and he said, all I want is what's best for the boys. I understand.
That's a good attitude.
As John left that day, he didn't know what he would do.
Yeah.
The two boys that had been so upset and mean with him came up to him, and they said, thank you for teaching us. We want to grow up to be teachers just like you.
Wow.
Teachers who love their students and care for them. John didn't know what job he was going to do.
Yeah. What?
On his way home, as he was walking, a man walked up to him and said, John. John didn't know the man.
Oh, well, who is he?
He said, how do you know my name? The man looked at him and said, John, we've been watching you for some time.
We've been watching you.
In fact, there's some things we want to talk to you about.
Oh, what? What?
Well.
What? No. We're not doing this again. We are not putting the book down. Can you please pick the book back up and keep talking?
I'm sorry.
Please.
You're going to have to come back tomorrow and find out who this guy is and what's going to happen to John.
What? You just whisper it. Whisper it. Whisper.
I can't do that.
I didn't want that. I want to know the story.
I'm sorry.
I gotta wait all the way till tomorrow. That's like 23 hours. 24 hours. I gotta wait. I gotta wait that long.
It is. It's crazy. But it's some cool stuff's gonna happen.
Man, that's like he walked so much.
He did 40 miles. Yeah. That's a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
I bet he was exhausted.
Yeah, because he couldn't fly and he couldn't take the stagecoach and he couldn't take the train and
we couldn't fly because there weren't planes.
Oh, this was a long time ago.
And he couldn't flap his arms fast enough.
Yeah, that's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe we should ask some questions so we get everybody in the prize basket.
Yep, absolutely.
Here we go. Question number 1. When John needed a new suit, what did his family do?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right. John worked for his daddy and then went to school and got a job. What was his job? His first job outside the house?
Can you use the big word or the? Or
yep,
just
whichever.
Little? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, either one. Okay. All right. And
sorry,
we're not making the movie. Yeah. And finally, where did John get the last job we talked about? Where was his last job at?
Okay.
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 All right.
I'm kind of nervous that John's going to get thrown in prison tomorrow.
Oh, because people were watching him?
Yeah, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah, like, that's kind of scary if people watch you.
Yeah, like, I don't know about that. I hope he's not in trouble.
Well, here's what I'm thinking, okay?
Okay.
So, we're still in Scotland, and we're supposed to end up here in Vanuatu. So, yeah, I think it'll be okay.
If you remember, way back when, Australia was a place used by the English to house criminals.
For the bad guys. Ooh, right. Yeah. Okay, well...
Yeah. So...
How about we just read ahead?
I wrote a song about that.
We're gonna tell the kids about this story.
Nope. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps traveling on, traveling on.
No. We're gonna retire this.
No, that's right.
Well, guys, we got to get going because we got to take care of some business here. But we want you to know.
Could I please do my part of the picture challenge?
Right. Sorry.
So the picture challenge today is, I know a lot of you out there are amazing musicians. So take a picture of your awesome instruments.
Okay.
And post them in the picture challenge. Okay. If you do that, you can get another chance to be in the prize basket. And I'm going to take a picture and put a picture of me and my guitar.
That's a great guitar.
It's beautiful.
You know what else is even greater?
What?
That God is watching over us. And He cares about us. Even here in Vanuatu, while we're trying to figure out what's going on with John Patton, God is still watching out for us.
That's true. That's true. So we need to remember that God watches out for us, just like He did John Patton every step of the way.
Yep.
And number 2, you need to remember that we love you.
And Jesus loves you too.
All right.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.